we had collected the monies, disbursed to farmers already. This was January, February, as a matter of January, we had disbursed to farmers already. I think it was February. COVID, like it came as like a tsunami, right? COVID was coming from this side. Regulation was coming from this side. It was around 2020 as well. SEC came up and said, everybody should stop crowdfunding. Everyone who has collected monies, they gave a deadline to refund the monies. And agriculture is not like that. So you have bought fertilizers, the farmers have already cultivated, put the crops in the field. And you give a deadline of like 1 month to recoup to return all the money to people that you had gotten it from. How is that going to be possible, Thankfully, I think that's also where communication also comes from, because some of our competitors at the time, maybe you probably know that, they were dragged on social media again and again and again. But the reason why you probably did not see Winnich being dragged at the time, because we were having open house like every 2 weeks, carrying all the people who provided us the financing. The whole, the process, like this is where we are now. Then COVID, then the lockdown started. Then the farmers on their own end were not equally able to go to the farms efficiently because of the lockdowns. So because of that, at the end of the cycle, the yield was even very bad. So the yield in itself was not even sufficient to pay back the principal, not even talk of the interest, But we communicated, we were very open, truthful with the retail investors that this is the position. We would only be able to give you 25% of the entire thing right now. When we have the products that we have gotten right now, we can't even sell them, but the pressure was so much, super much. So because there was lockdown, it was only health and the medical guys that were allowed to freely move around. I think it was sometime around May that they now approve for, either April, May, that they now approve for food. They now considered food as an essential, and food could also move around. Now, we had, I think, like 4 trucks of onion that we had collected from the farmers, because that cycle it was onion we cultivated. We had collected from the farmers, and the best market was going to be Lagos, right? And then we're trying to ship it down to Lagos. But again, it was in the middle of COVID. So each state, we needed to get a clearance for each state. So to move from Kebbi to Lagos, you would pass through Niger, pass through Kwara, pass through Osun, pass through Oyo before you get to Lagos. So we got the clearance from Kebbi. It moved from Kebbi, got to Niger. Now, we did not have the clearance for Niger. The trucks were on the road, covered. Because it was covered, onion is a perishable commodity. The heat was going to get it more damaged. I told Winner, we cannot be in Lagos. And we have a truck worth over, several millions of naira that every day that goes by, we are counting our losses because the heat would keep making the product get bad. And that was also around the time where lootings were happening in different places. Yeah, we can't be here. So I took a trip. And before I took that trip, I'm a Christian, and I think everyone should understand the place of intuition, right? Before that trip, I had all the intuition not to take the trip, but there was pressure from investors, the retail guys and I did not want it to get to the point where they were calling us out on social media. So I took the trip either way. I remember I told you I didn't want to take the trip. But we know, like, we are staying back. And I said, how would I stay back? People are dragging us. Do you want to get to the point where they call us on social media? Long story cut short, I took the trip and I went into an accident. That's why I was short, because I wanted to show the scar. So you know how they say entrepreneurship is like jumping out of a plane and building a parachute before you land. I did not I did not get to the product. The accident happened between the border of, I think, Osun State and Kwara State. That was where the accident happened. And I was rushed to the hospital. When I was rushed to the hospital, And the doctor I met, he said, "Do you believe in miracles?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Because you need a miracle." Really? He said, "For your leg not to be amputated, you do need a miracle." So I couldn't go to where the produce was. They shipped me back to Lagos, straight to Igbobi Hospital. And I was there for several months. And then the doctors also confirmed that my legs were going to be amputated. You know, how I'm walking today without having to limp or anything, it's a miracle, right? But I'm saying all of this to let entrepreneurs know that it doesn't have to be as not so nice as the journey like I have shared, right? But there will always be challenges, right? But as entrepreneurs, that resiliency needs to be at the core of what you need to believe what you're doing. As long as the data shows this, you need to believe it to the point where people will think that something is wrong with you. Because if you don't believe it that much, two things. And every time when there's a challenge, you will just cower. That's one. Two, you will not be able to get team members that will believe it as much as you do as well. Because it's until you believe it so much that you'll be able to convince other people to leave what they are doing and come and join you to believe what you're doing as well. So you have to equally believe it to the point where they think that something is wrong with you.